Have you ever felt helpless? You gave everything you had, made plans, worked hard, tried to keep every detail under control. And yet, with just one small twist, everything fell apart. A test you thought you nailed, but the result left you speechless. A job you believed was made for you. That ended with a polite rejection email. A friend you trusted completely, who quietly walked away without a word. And in those moments, it's not just the world that slips out of your hands. It's you. Your emotions spiral. Anger, exhaustion, confusion, all crashing together like a wave in your mind. We were taught to take control of our lives, but no one told us that. Some things can't be controlled. The harder you try to hold on, the more drained you become, and the further you drift from yourself. This world doesn't move according to our plans. It flows by its own rhythm, sometimes gentle, sometimes cruel. And we are just a small part of that current. But maybe, right at the moment you stop trying to grasp everything, is when you finally begin to grasp yourself. Because the key to freedom has always been in your pocket. You just never bent down to look for it. Life isn't as complicated as you think. When you stop trying to control the world, you finally start to gain control of yourself. Chapter 1. The Paradox of Effort. The harder you swim, the deeper you sink. Have you ever tried to force yourself to fall asleep, only to stay wide awake? Or tried to chase happiness, only to find it slipping further away? That's the paradox of effort. It's like trying to catch sunlight with your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it escapes. Those who crave love too deeply often end up lonely. Those who long for peace often live in unease. The more we try to make everything perfect, the further we drift from the naturalness that makes life truly worth living. The answer isn't to give up, but to let go. Not laziness, not surrender, but to act with intention, without letting outcomes enslave your mind. Imagine you're rowing a boat down a river. You only need to focus on the oars in your hands. The current will take care of the rest. Life doesn't reward panic. It rewards calm persistence. Those who move with steadiness in their heart are the ones who reach the shore. Chapter 2. The Paradox of Control. The surfer, not the captain. We all want control. Control over the future. Control over emotions. Control over others. But every detailed plan can collapse because of something as small as an unexpected rain. That's the paradox of control. The tighter you grip, the faster things slip away. The ancient Greeks understood this long ago. Stoic philosophy teaches that humans control only two things: their actions and their reactions. Weather, words of others, sudden events, they're all beyond your reach. Life is an ocean, and you are the surfer. You can't command the sea to stop its waves, but you can learn how to ride them. True freedom doesn't come from controlling everything, but from accepting what you cannot control and mastering what you can. Chapter 3. The Brain's Night Shift Crew. When you drift into sleep, a silent night shift crew inside your brain begins its work. No one can see them, but they are the ones keeping your mind from falling apart. Each neuron gets gently swept clean of fatigue. Broken connections are repaired. Important memories are carefully filed away into long-term storage, while useless fragments are quietly erased. This is when your brain cleans, fixes, and rebuilds itself. A full-scale renovation that happens in silence while the rest of you dreams. But if you cut your sleep short, you interrupt that delicate maintenance, and the next morning, you wake up in a congested city. Thoughts tangled together, memories blurred, emotions out of tune. You find yourself easily irritated, unable to focus, and strangely heavy, as if your mind is wading through fog. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a mandatory maintenance system the brain offers you for free. It's where your mind restores itself, where invisible cracks are healed, and where the first sparks of creativity begin to glow again. When you allow yourself to rest deeply, you're not wasting time. You're investing in clarity, in emotional energy, and in the calm strength you'll need to face tomorrow. You don't sleep just to escape exhaustion. You sleep to return as a clearer, sharper, and more alive version of yourself. Chapter 4. The Happiness Trap. The cat that never obeys. Happiness is like a cat. The more you call it, the further it runs. But when you stop chasing, it quietly curls up on your lap. We live in the happiness trap, the hedonic treadmill, where we keep running but never arrive. Whether you win the lottery or lose love, after a few months, your happiness returns to baseline. Happiness isn't a goal. It's a side effect of a meaningful life. Instead of asking, "How can I be happy?" ask, "How can I live meaningfully?" When you help someone, learn something new, or live by your values, happiness arrives, soft as the morning sun. Chapter 5. The Brain Filter. The colored glasses of perception. Your brain isn't a camera. It's an image editor. Everything you see passes through filters, biases, memories, beliefs. You think you're seeing the truth, but you're really seeing your version of it. Once you realize that, the world softens. You judge less. You become gentler, calmer, because you understand. Maybe I'm wearing blue glasses. And when you know you're wearing them, at least you no longer believe the whole world is blue. Chapter 6. The 90-10 Rule. Reson is just a subtitler. We like to think we're rational beings, but 90% of your decisions come from emotion, and only 10% from logic. Logic usually arrives later to justify emotion. That's not a flaw. Emotion is data, a survival instinct shaped by thousands of years of evolution. The problem is how quickly we react. Between emotion and reaction, if you pause for half a second, take a deep breath, you open a small but powerful space where you can choose your response instead of being controlled by emotion. Emotion is the steering wheel, but you are still the driver. Chapter 7. Memory. The fiction writer in your mind. You think memory is a movie recording the truth. Number. It's more like a Wikipedia page. Every time you open it, you edit it a little. Memories shift endlessly. But that's a gift. If the past is just a story, you can rewrite the way you tell it. You can't erase what happened, but you can choose how to remember, how to interpret, how to see. When you retell your past with kindness, memory becomes a garden for healing, not a prison holding you back. Chapter 8. The 80-20 Principle. The unfair game. You can hack 20% of effort, creates 80% of results. The rest is noise. Look closer. 20% of relationships bring 80% of joy. 20% of bad habits cause 80% of your problems. The world runs on imbalance, and that's your chance to focus. Don't try to do it all. Do what matters. No one burns out from doing too little. They burn out from doing too much of the wrong thing. Chapter 9. The Habit Loop. The autopilot inside your brain. Half your life runs on autopilot. Every familiar act, checking your phone, sipping coffee, complaining, is a result of the habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. You can't delete habits, but you can replace the routine. Keep the same cue and reward. Change the action. Stress can still come, but instead of spiraling, you can take a walk, breathe deeply, or write a few lines. You no longer have to force yourself to live better. because your system will naturally lead you there. Chapter 10. The Compound Effect. 1% every day. If you get 1% better each day, in 1 year, you'll be 37 times better. Not by magic, but by the mathematics of time. One page, one workout, one small choice. They accumulate, quietly but powerfully. Getting 1% worse each day doesn't keep you the same. It pulls you down fast. The greatest leap isn't in a single jump, but in steady accumulation. Success isn't magic. It's habit, system, and consistency. Conclusion. Life isn't a quest to find your best self because there is no perfect version waiting at the finish line. Life is an unfinished blueprint, and you are the architect. Each day, you lay one small brick. Sometimes wrong, sometimes beautiful, sometimes just enough. But every brick is proof that you're still building, not giving up. The 3 pillars of this design are simple, yet strong enough to hold an entire life. Accept what's beyond your control. Master your actions and reactions. Accumulate small progress, 1% at a time. When you piece together all these fragments, paradoxes, emotions, habits, memories, and falls, you'll see that life was never chaos. It's a game with its own rules. And the greatest reward isn't winning, but awakening. The moment you realize, I'm playing, not just drifting. There's no map to happiness, but there is a manual for life. Simple, practical, and profound. Accept what you can't control. Refine your actions and reactions. And stay consistent in your 1% progress each day. That's the real manual of life. Not written in words, but in every small choice you make each morning.